If you're still walking into listing presentations hoping that your slides are going to win the deal, you're losing listings before you ever sit down. You're not being evaluated in that room. You're either being confirmed or rejected. I see this costing agents at least 2 to 4 listings every single month. Not because they're weak presenters, but because their seller already decided who they were going to work with before they even scheduled the appointment. Let's put numbers on that. 2 missed listings a month. Even at conservative numbers, that's a 6-figure a year number. Gone without a single objective ever spoken out loud. And the dangerous part is, we don't feel like we lost. We don't learn from the process. The seller thanks you and they say, well, we'll think about it. Then they go with someone else. That's not a presentation problem, team. That's a positioning problem. This is the difference between agents who show up to present versus the agents who show up to present and have already been pre-selected. One group explains why they're qualified. They go through the presentation. They do their best to get the listing. The other group, their listing, securing the listing, it's already inevitable. One group competes on stats and slides and competence and conversation. The other group already walks in trusted, relaxed, flowing, ready to sign the listing. You know what I'm talking about. You've been there. You've walked into those listings you knew were already secured versus the ones you knew you were walking into, you had to present, and chances are you knew the sellers were already going to go with someone else. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If you're trying to win the listing in the living room, you're still operating like a rookie. If the listing is already leaning in your favor even before you arrive, now you're operating with authority. Same market, same house, very different outcome. The real problem is not your presentation. The problem is most agents treat the listing presentation as the actual start of the influence, when it's actually the end of the decision-making process. Sellers don't choose based on logic. They choose based on certainty. Then they justify it with logic. By the time you sit at the table, the seller is already asking one question. Do I feel safe choosing this person? And here's how we can use AI to replace this uncertainty before we ever sit at the kitchen table. It removes uncertainty before the meeting ever happens. And the best part is, this is your advantage because most agents completely miss this. Here's what actually works so you walk in confident, secure, and ready to put pen to paper on that listing. Here's my 4-step AI positioning process. This process is running before you even show up at the property, but massively tilts the outcome into your favor. It's not complicated. It's not even flashy. It's precise. Point number 1, predict the seller's anxiety before you even meet. Before the appointment, use AI to analyze the seller's situation. Based on your prior pre-listing conversations with the seller, cue in certain key points, key things that they say during those pre-listing appointments, and cue those in to AI. These could be very basic comments that the seller says, just certain things that you latch onto that are in your notes. You could even be taking notes while you're having conversations for your pre-listing appointment over the phone, and then snap a photo of those notes, upload it to AI, and ask AI to identify any hesitation or anxiety that might be picked up from your initial conversation. This could be price hesitation, timing fear, trust gaps from bad or past experiences, confusion about the market and what they should do next. You're not guessing, team. You already have notes and outcomes predetermined prior to even showing up to that listing appointment. And this is not manipulation. This is you doing your homework and understanding the items that keep your sellers up at night. That way you can address the root causes, concerns, and the emotional roller coaster that they're on. This alone will change the tone of the conversation. Point number 2, translate your value into the seller's language. Most agents talk about themselves, marketing exposure, experience, negotiating skills. Sellers don't care about that. Sellers care about outcomes that are aligned with their concerns and their desired goals. So explain during your listing presentation, as you identify their concerns and you identify their goals, explain this in terms that speak into them. Don't talk about what you do. Talk about the benefits that the seller will receive through your efforts. When this happens, team, resistance drops drastically. Point number 3, send a pre-listing appointment authority asset. Before your listing appointment, you want to send the seller one short, easy to digest asset, not a CMA dump, not a 30-page presentation, something that positions you as calm, in control, and already thinking ahead. It should create a feeling of this person is different. This person is already operating at a higher level. By the time you arrive, you're no longer simply introducing yourself. You're reinforcing trust. Point number 4, your presentation becomes the confirmation. Now, from this perspective, the process of presenting during a listing presentation, this changes the scope and the dynamic in that kitchen table or living room. You're not simply selling. You're confirming. The sellers hear what they already believe. The objections will soften before they even have time to manifest in form. The decision feels obvious instead of risky. This is why this system works. Not because it's technical, but because it removes uncertainty before it has a chance to show up. Point number 6, the open loop exit. If you're still relying on the appointment itself to win the listing, you'll keep losing to agents who influence the decision earlier on in the decision-making process. In my next video, I'll break down how one agent used a particular daily system to double their closings in only 90 days, without more leads, without more hours, and definitely without more grind and hustle. With that said, team, I want to wrap this one up, but link down below is an abundance of resources. Click the link, take a look. First thing, I want you to look at my store. It has all the coaching, tools, resources, scripts, downloads, anything and everything you need to grow your business in this modern time in our real estate industry. Also, I want you to take a look at the Real Estate Academy Hub. Click on that link, take a look around the hub, the community. It's a community of like-minded real estate professionals synergistically growing, learning, sharing information together. Would love to have you as a part of the community. And lastly, there is an opportunity for us to work one-on-one in a coaching relationship. If that's something you're interested in, or the other tools are of interest to you, go ahead and click the link down below. But at the end of the day, team, it's your business. Just get out there, get after it, get it done. We'll talk soon, everybody. Bye-bye.